Greetings, you're the Asian Ken here with you once again for another Marvel Collector Corps unboxing. And this time, well, we are revisiting the ultimate, the amazing, sensational, spectacular Spider-Man Homecoming. That's right, another Spider-Man movie reboot means another actor taking on the dual role of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So why not take this opportunity to discuss some of the other characters that have actually donned the mask of Spider-Man. And easily one of the most controversial Spider-Man stories of all time would have to be the Clone Saga. As the name would suggest, well, clones involved. And whenever there are clones involved, things tend to get very, very confusing and a great big complicated mess. And as such was the case for the Clone Saga, which has been collected in trade paperbacks over 5 actual trade paperbacks, the complete Clone Saga books 1 to 5, for those of you who wish to seek out the entire storyline. They did actually do, I think it was like a 4 issue, maybe 5, limited series more recently, more of a retelling condensed version, probably I guess the story they would have liked to have told. Because, yeah, as I said, very complicated. Admittedly, there were multiple Spider-Man titles going at the time. This story was actually published in the 1990s, and it did, well, really, the first appearance of the Peter Parker clone was in an early issue of The Amazing Spider-Man, around issue 122 or something. And in that issue, the clone died down a smokestack. But, comic books, so obviously, surprise, the clone is still alive and kicking, going by the name of Ben Reilly. As I said, multiple Spider-Man titles at the time, meaning different creative teams on said titles, so everyone trying to tell one cohesive story that did not quite gel altogether. But the Ben Reilly character is still around today, and, well, okay, the Clone Saga. Basically what happened, as I said, Clone came back, and it was revealed that, after, say, so many decades of Peter Parker as Spider-Man, or the numerous appearances in many comics, not just his own title, well, it was revealed that, you know what? Peter Parker was the clone and Ben Reilly was the original. Yeah. Happened before the internet was widespread, so obviously... But backlash? Yes. Major reader backlash. Peter and Mary Jane left the title, went off into the sunset for a while, and Ben Reilly took over as the lead character. That being said, he did have one power that was different, otherwise, different to Peter. He had these spikes which came out of his arm, and he also did eventually adopt the Scarlet Spider moniker. And eventually, of course, Peter came back, and it was revealed that no, Peter was actually the original, and Ben was the clone. And of course, Ben, again, once it died, he has been, well, as is the case with comic book deaths, he has made reappearances, explained, however. He currently does have his own title, Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider, which is only just recently started up in the post-Secret Wars Marvel Universe. But we will see how that goes when Marvel does their next revamp, the Generations and Legacy event. Who knows whether Ben Reilly will still be around. And now, of course, the other person to take on the Spider-Man is Miles Morales. You've probably, those of you who've seen some videos, will probably be familiar with the Ultimate Marvel Comic Universe, and as such, which was basically the reboot of the Marvel Universe for the new millennium. Of course, this happened back in around the early 2000s, which had the title Ultimate X-Men, The Ultimates, and Ultimate Fantastic Four, the flagship title Ultimate Spider-Man. And yes, it was, Peter Parker did pretty much star in that title for a number of years. He got until around, I think, clocked in over 150 issues of the Ultimate Peter Parker, until the Death of Peter Parker storyline, or the Death of Spider-Man, Death of Spider-Man storyline. And as the title would suggest, he died at the end of that series. I think it was a 6-part limited series. And a new character was introduced in the follow-up limited series titled Ultimate Fallout, and it was which dealt with the death of Spider-Man. And it was specifically issue number 4 that we first saw this new Ultimate Spider-Man, Miles Morales. And that issue 4 of Ultimate Fallout actually was polybagged when it was released. And, well, since then, Miles has pretty well integrated himself into the comic book readership and Spider-Man fans alike. He is African American, which was a major move by Marvel at the time. Of course, one of the things that Stanley has said, that in terms of creating Spider-Man, one of the great things that came about in the creation of that character was the fact that you couldn't actually tell underneath the costume exactly what nationality Spider-Man was, because it was a completely covered costume, so readers could imagine themselves as actually being that Spider-Man. And as I said, sorry, and well, Miles Morales has actually met Peter Parker. There was a Spider-Man limited series, 5-issue limited series, where the Peter Parker from the Marvel 616 universe ended up in the Ultimate Marvel universe, where he met up with Miles Morales, which was a pretty good series as well, which has of course been collected. One of the interesting things about it was that, obviously Spider-Man isn't really much of a legacy character, and having the 616 Peter Parker meet the Ultimate Universe Peter Parker, doesn't really have that much pathos to it, but having him met Miles Morales, who took up the mantle of Spider-Man after the Ultimate Peter Parker died, it adds a lot more pathos to that story. As I said, it's been collected for those of you who want to check it out. And I guess finally, the other controversial character to take on Spider-Man, and also, I guess you could say Peter Parker as well, is Octo Octavius, Dr. Octopus. That's right, at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 700, Dr. Octopus was successful in transplanting his, I want to say transplanting his mind, override that of Peter Parker. Dr. Octopus, we'll go with that description, I guess. Obviously, so Peter Parker's body was taken over by Dr. Octopus. Peter's mind was still floating in there somewhere, but it was Dr. Octopus's mind that was in control. This led into the launch of the Superior Spider-Man, in which case it had the Dr. Octopus controlled Peter Parker character in the lead. And this ran for, I think, over 2 years as well, and had it was like a Superior Spider-Man team-up comic as well, which was published alongside the main Superior Spider-Man title. And of course, those have been collected in trade. It should mention that there was, at the end of the Spider-Man limited series, they did tease, obviously, Peter realizing that there was an ultimate version of Peter Parker. There must be a 616 version of Miles Morales, and he did. And the end tease for that limited series was him finding out or discovering the 616 Miles Morales, and this is going to be picked up on the Spider-Man 2 limited series, admittedly a few years after the original Spider-Man limited series, but it will be interesting to see that story develop. It's only just recently, the first couple of issues have only just recently come out, so you can still, hopefully, if you're lucky, be able to get those series and finish off the limited series as well. But enough about that. Let's get into the box. Okay, so let's have a look, see what we've got in here. And let's just quick check. I'm sure we will have a pin and a patch. Okay, we've got the patch here. And obviously it looks like the pin's the vulture. from the new movie. Pins are, there's the pin. There we go. Looks like we've got the Avengers for the next box. First appearance. And Peter Parker. Spectacular Spider-Man comic book. Issue number 1. We go Midtown School of Science and Technology. Of course, harkening back to the exhibit in which the irradiated spider bit Peter Parker. Some mystery minis here, Shocker and Spider-Man. Collect them all. Homemade suit and Vulture also available. And Spider-Man Homecoming pop vinyl. Yeah. And there's the other pops in the collection. Homemade suit, Peter Parker, Tony Stark, and Vulture, of course. So let's have a look at the box here. Go some of the artwork. So there we have it. We have the Spider-Man Homecoming pop vinyl, the Shocker, and Spider-Man mystery mini bobbleheads, the Midtown School of Science and Technology t-shirt, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 1, Collector Corps cover. And of course the obligatory patch and pin. And there's the little fact sheet. And there we have it. And yes, the next box will be First Appearance Avengers. And oh, this artwork, I am familiar with this cover. This was the cover to Avengers issue number 0, which actually came with an issue of Wizard magazine. It's a special, that could only be available in the Wizard magazine. There was the start of the Ultra Unlimited storyline, which ran, I think it was around Avengers Volume 3, issue 18 to 22. But yes, great storyline that was. So there you have it. That Spider-Man Homecoming box contents. Well, that's it for another Marvel Collector Corps unboxing video. As always, the box is a subscription-based service and a partnership between Marvel and Funko. And if you want to learn more about it, go to www.collectorcorps.com because, well, they've stopped their Facebook page. It's been merged with their main Funko page, so there you go. And hopefully I will see you next time for the next box. And until then, have a harmonious day.